Well, hey everybody, it is Monday night. I was getting ready to say Tuesday night, but it is Monday night. Welcome to our check-in Monday, and we're grateful to have you with us on this evening. It's always a pleasure to have those of you to join me, and it's a delight to have you with me. Do me a favor tonight if you're coming in. If it's your first time being with us on Check In Monday, please let me know and say first time. Please let me know where you're viewing from, what city, what state you're viewing from, and we are just excited to have you. If you've been here before, you know how we do it. Let's do this. Yeah, let's like and share and do all those things tonight. I see those of you that are coming in, and let me do this. We're going to um, do some things in a minute, but let me make sure I got what I need to have right before I do that. And we're going to make sure, all right, that we're rolling tonight. Yeah, I think we're good. As far as I can see, we're going to be good tonight with this. And just let me make sure. All right, I'm looking at something. Y'all can't see it, but I'm looking at it right now. All right. Yeah, that's gonna work. All right. So let's I'm gonna bring in the comments so you can see them, so everyone can see those that have arrived, those that have come. So we're gonna do that tonight. And let me just do this. There we go. And we're gonna bring in those comments so everyone can see them. Let's do that now. All right. So now we've got comments on screen. We see those that have joined us, those that are coming in. Thank you so much for being a part of tonight, and we appreciate you being here. As you can see everyone that's coming in, and we're just excited to have you. Thank you for those of you that are watching us on. You're watching us on uh, YouTube and Facebook and all of the books. We're grateful to have you with us on tonight. Thank you so much for being with us. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, it's good to see all of you. Thank you so much. And we're excited to have you. All right, let me get right into this tonight and jump right in. I want to, some came to me today, and while I was out, it just came to me as I was looking at the various cars and everything that was moving and traveling. And some came to me, and I wanted to share it with you tonight. It may seem like not much, but I want to share it with you and encourage someone. And that is, many times in this thing called life, we're traveling along the way, we're doing things, we are whatever going through and doing the things we're doing. And sometimes we get discouraged along the way. And one of the reasons we get discouraged is because we're always paying attention and looking at others and what's going on with them and what's happening with them and how they seem to be getting to certain places and all of those things. But it came to me, and I want to share it with you tonight, is to talk about, to talk to you about the same destination, just from a different location. The same destination, but from a different location. And if you would think about that, many people, we can be going to the same place or the same event and need to be there at a certain time, and the event starts at a certain hour. But if you think about it, even though we may have the same destination, even though we may be going from the same place, what you have to remember is everyone is not leaving from the same location. And many times I think that gets us sort of discouraged, because a lot of times we think more or less about the destination, but we don't think about the fact that the destination is something and where we're going, that event or whatever. But the location from where we're coming from is always different for everybody. And so you have to understand that it is something, and our discouragement sometimes comes because we're looking at the destination and who seems to be getting there quicker or faster, but we never pay attention to the fact that we got the same destination, but we're coming from a different location. What you need to see, and I'm going to be very brief with this tonight, one of the things we need to understand is our route to our destination. And I want you to get this because this is going to be something we need to lock in on. Our route to our destination is determined, watch this, by our location and not our destination. Think about that. Sometimes the route we take to a place or to a destination is determined by location and not by destination. Because sometimes the destination is set, is fixed, but the thing that's not fixed is always our location. Because sometimes you can go to a destination from different locations. You may not be in the same place. And so when you start thinking about that, you say to yourself, I'm concerned about my destination. No, what you got to be not concerned, what you got to look at is your location, because the route that you take, the way that you go is determined not by the destination, it's determined by the location. In other words, I can go and have a set destination to go a certain place and know that I go to this place all the time. Just take, for instance, if I'm going to my church, I can go to my church from my house. That's my location at that time. But now I know what route to go if I'm going from my house. But now if I'm traveling from another part of the city or a place that I've never been or a location that I'm not familiar with, then I put on the GPS system or whatever, and it gives me a totally different route to my destination from that location. And sometimes we need to understand, before you get discouraged and get bent out of shape, you need to understand that many times your destination is not the thing that is determining your route. The thing that is determining your route is your location. And that's why it's important to understand that locations are important. And no matter where you're going in life, your location is important to where you're going, because it determines which way you're going, which route you're going to take. Now, you're going to get there, but you may have to go a different way. And so you have to understand that the route to our destination, again, is determined by our location and not our destination. Because many times the destination is a set point, but the location from where we're coming is not set. And I want you to get that tonight. The destination is set, but from where we're coming is not always set. All right? Number two, you have to understand that destination is important, but the key to your arrival time depends upon your location. And I need you to get that, because some of us, we're getting discouraged over stuff we don't have to be discouraged over, because the destination is important. It's set. It's a set place. It's a set location. It's a set destination. So the destination is important, but the key to your arrival and your arrival time depends on your location. Every place you leave from you may be going to the same place you go every day. But if you leave from a different location, your arrival time, your time of arrival, your time to get there is going to be different. It's not going to be the same time. Matter of fact, sometimes you will leave, you may be going downtown, but you may not be coming from your house. You may be going downtown from Decatur. You may be going downtown from Buckhead. You may be going downtown from somewhere else. You may be going downtown from a distance of a place. And so you have to understand that your destination is important. It's keyed, it's located, it's in there. But the key to your arrival time depends on your location of where you're leaving from. That's where you got to pay attention, and that is your arrival place, your arrival time. All right. Number three, and I'm moving because we got storms rolling through here, and I don't want the lights to go out. Want you to get this. Number three, your arrival time will be by car. I'm talking about local, like local stuff, but you can apply this to just our everyday walk through life. By car, bus, train, or plane. Every one of them will have a different arrival time according to the transportation and the location from which you leave. Just think about this in everyday life. Some of us, we're going through a lot of stuff. We're trying to figure out, and some of us, God may allow you to go through life. You got the destination set. He's already determined your destination, where you're going to end up with things. He's already told us, even in scripture, that he knows the things that he already knows about us and for us, and he's already predetermined what's going to happen and where we're going. And many times, sometimes we don't know which vehicle or mode of transportation in life transportation that he's going to take. In everyday life, if you're going out of town, you may go in a car. Well, you're going to get to the same destination. If you're driving from here to Texas, you're going to get to the same destination, but the arrival time is going to be very different. Or the route is going to be different. If you went on a bus, the arrival time different. The way you go, different. A train, different. On a plane, you may get there in a shorter period of time, but you're going to the same destination. And every one of them have that different time according to the transportation or according to the location. Many of us need to just get it in our spirit that God may not be taking you the same way he's taking somebody else. They may be traveling on the car. You may be traveling on the bus. I may be traveling on the train. Somebody else may be traveling on the plane. So we got to understand we're going to get there. But our location and what we're riding on is important. You got to understand this. Watch this. Sometimes we want to get to a location, but we don't know the vehicle by which God is going to get us to that location. Sometimes people get a certain place and you be like, man, that was quick. But your vehicle, my vehicle, we may go through some hurt. We may go through some other stuff. We're going to still get to where God wants us to be, but we travel a different route from other people. And we have to stop being discouraged because everybody's not traveling the same way. And when you hear these great testimonies of how they got there, that's fine. But there's some people don't tell the whole truth. I'm not going to say don't tell the truth. I'm just saying they don't give you the whole story. They give you the success story of reaching the destination, but they don't tell you where they came from and the route they had to take, because you got to understand it's a different thing. Watch this. Number 4, the GPS system in our cars calculates our arrival time from our location. They don't calculate our arrival time by destination. It calculates it by location. It calculates it by where you are and where you're coming from. If you don't believe it, next time you get in your car, make your destination your home and see what it does. It won't even calculate it. It won't even say anything about it. It won't put any numbers on there because it don't need to calculate where you already are. It don't need to give you a destination for where you're already sitting. That's another point I want to make. Sometimes we are, like Joseph says, he said, I'm in the place of God. You meant it for evil, but God meant it unto good to save much people alive. Sometimes we already where God wants us to be, and we're trying to get where everybody else is or what we think they are, but we've already reached that particular destination that God had for us. We're already there, but we're pushing, trying to get to somebody else's destination. And sometimes, again, when you get in your car, try it. Put in your GPS system your home address and see what it does. It's not going to tell you it's a 30-minute drive. It's not going to tell you an hour. It's not going to tell you it's 20 minutes because it doesn't have anything to calculate because you're already at your destination. And the GPS system is smart enough to know that. Some of us, we're trying to get to a place and we're saying, God, I want to get to this place. God is saying you're already in that place. You've already reached that destination. That's not to say I don't have other places for you, but you've reached that destination. And so when you type in this location, you're not getting anything from it. Some of us need to understand that when there is another destination, when there's a place, God determines our destination, which he's already set, but he determines our route and our time of arrival according to our location. So what you got to ask yourself is the question is, where am I located? That's where we need to discern the location place. I already know my destination. I already know what God said he's going to do. I already know what he's promised to give me. But now from where I'm traveling from and my location, I've got to get to the place that I understand and say to myself, you know what? My location is very important. And I'm not just talking about physical location. Your spiritual location is important. Your mental location is important. Everything about all that is important for your destination. Your mental place is important when you're traveling. You can, if you're driving and you're mentally fatigued or you're mentally tired, you're liable to go to sleep behind the wheel. You're liable to go to sleep and have an accident. It's important. Your mental state, the state of mind you're in, your emotional state and location is important to get where you need to go. All that's important. I know we don't think about that, but that's true. Where we're going, it's so important. Have you ever been driving and just been tired and you know that you were tired and you find yourself drifting, or you find yourself sometimes going on the side, or you find yourself, and sometimes you just say to yourself, I need to stop and take a break. I need to go get some coffee or something to boost. I need some caffeine or something. Why? Because now you're not going to make it to your destination if the location of your mentality and everything is off. So you got to work on that. So we've got to start understanding that my location is important. And the older you get, you probably understand this. I was reading something the other day, and they were talking about people that had passed 60 and stuff like that, and they were asking them, how do they deal with life? And one of the things that struck me that was so important, and I thought it was so funny, I said, I'm going to use that. They can forget that. I'm using that. And they said, I keep peace of mind, and I keep myself out of crazy stuff. And they said, well, how do you do it? They said, I do not get in confrontations and argue with people. So I keep my sanity and my peace. And this is what they said, which was very funny. They said, if someone tells me that 2 and 2 is 5, I'm going to agree with them and say you're right. Because if they believe 2 and 2 is 5, no need of me arguing with them. That's what you believe, go right ahead. And some of you get to your destination better if you mentally prepare yourself, because you have people along the way that are trying to talk you out of it, people along the way that will discourage you, people along the way that will ignore you, not recognize you, whatever it may be. And I'm talking about church and the workplace or wherever. But you got to know my destination is set. I got a set destination. And my location says that I'm going to be okay, because mentally I'm dealing with this. I ain't allowing people to get me all bent out of shape. That's why I want to tell y'all something. I want to help you tonight before I get out of here. I want to tell you something. Everything that people say doesn't require a response from you. Everything people say, everything they do, don't require a response from you. I know you want to. I know you want to respond. I know you want to say something to them. I know you want to do all that. But everything does not require a response from you. It don't. And I need you to get that. It don't require a response. I know you want to, but it don't always require a response from you. Sometimes you just gotta Just that's what you think. That's what you say. I'm not giving no responses. I'm good. I'm good. If you good, I'm good. I'm not even in a debate mode with you. I'm not even in a mode to go through changes with you about none of this. Whatever you feel, that's what you feel. Because I'm mentally preparing myself for my destination. I'm mentally preparing myself, and I can't allow you to get me sidetracked on trivial matters and things that's really not attached to my destination. If I'm riding on the highway, uh, the worst thing I could do if there's no traffic jam or whatever is to get off, and if especially if you got the GPS going, you get off, then the thing got to recalculate everything that you're doing. They got to find out, okay, now which way we going now, and sometimes the GPS can be off. But if you want to get to where you're going, don't allow interruptions and people and things to interrupt you. Get mentally tough. Get a hold of your emotions. Don't take everything personal, because the route you're going, sometimes you got to go it, and they're gonna take shots at you, and you just got to know that. All right, let me move on. I'm trying to get there, and get there with you tonight. All right, so let's look. Okay, the next thing, and that is, um, stop putting yourself under pressure trying to follow someone else's route to their destination, which you are traveling to. You may be going to the same destination, but stop putting yourself under that pressure. A lot of us, we put ourselves under too much pressure trying our best to follow somebody else's thing. You got to stop putting yourself under that pressure. Too much pressure. Stop putting yourself under pressure. Let them go the way they're going, and you stop putting yourself under pressure trying to follow their route. Sometimes their route is not the route for you. It's not the way. You come from a whole different place, whole different city, whole different location, whole different side of town, or whatever it may be. So stop putting yourself under pressure. A lot of us, we got unnecessary pressure. This stuff we put ourselves under is unnecessary because we trying to follow everybody else's route. We trying to go the way they go. Or we trying to go by how they say they went. I went this way. I went that way. Sometimes the way they went may be closed to you. It may not even be open to you. So just don't worry about that. Leave that alone. Don't even worry about that. Just leave it alone. You got it? All right. Now let's look, and I'm almost done, y'all. My time is running out. Next thing is the way you get there may not be the same way someone else gets there to their destination. But I want you to be rest assured that we all going to make it to our destination. But the key thing to remember is it will be from a different location. And long as you remember that my location will determine the time, my arrival, my destination, as long as you get that part, you're going to be fine. If you get that part, you're going to be good. You get that part, you're going to hold up. You get that part, you're going to be able to make it. And when you get to your destination, you won't be fatigued. You won't be wore out. You won't be beat up. You won't be all out of it. You'll be okay because you understand the route I went was the route that God intended and planned. That's the way he wanted me to get there. I made it. But the key part is I made it to my destination. Oh, as long as I make it, that's the key. The route I got to take, I don't always have control over that. I don't always, because sometimes even on the road, you can be driving and you got a detour and they working on the road. And you got to get off and go a certain. You don't always have control over everything and every way you have to travel to a destination. Sometimes you got to put that in the hand of God and trust him and believe him, because you don't always have control of that. But you do have control to understand that my destination is set, fixed. It's already determined. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow his guide, his leading. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. So he orders our steps. He orders our direction. And if we follow him, guess what? We're going to be all right. So I want to say to you tonight, as I conclude with this, we will all get there on time. We're going to get to our destination. So stop weighing yourself down. Stop going through changes. Stop beating yourself up and saying to yourself, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Cut it out. You're fine. Everything is all right. And you're going to be fine the way you are. And so I want you to be encouraged. I want you to be lifted. I want you to be stirred. I want you to be happy. And knowing that where I am, God is going to bless me. My destination is fixed. It's fixed. I know the thoughts that I have about you, saith the Lord. Thoughts, not thoughts of evil, but I've got thoughts of you that are good to bring you to an expected end. So our destination is set. But where we're coming from is different. But let's enjoy the ride. Let's know that our location, the way we're going, is going to be fine. And God is going to bless us, and we all will get there. Whatever time you're supposed to arrive, sometimes you go to a place, and even though you get there, it's like a hotel. And I'm going to close with this. It's like going to a hotel. Sometimes when you're checking into a hotel, they set a particular check-in time for you. Most of everybody's got the same checkout time. That's a set thing. But when you go in, sometimes they'll say your check-in, especially some hotels, they'll say you got to check in at 3 or you check in at 4. And they'll give you a window of check-in time. And sometimes even on appointments, when you go to appointment, every one of us may get to the building at the same time. But even though we get to the building at the same time, it don't mean that all of us going to go into the same place at the same time. We may all get there at 1 o'clock, but your appointment may be at 1:15. Mine may be at 1:30. Somebody else may be at 1:45. Somebody else may be at 2. And it may be 10-minute windows that they have that appointment, and then they move to the next, even though we all in the same destination and the same building and the same place, we don't have the same appointment time. And sometimes, God, we got the same destination, but our appointment time is not always the same. That's why you got to know the time of your appointment. And when God appoints a time for you, take it from me, nobody can stop it, block it, keep you from getting there. If you know my destination is set, my location where I'm coming from may be from this place, but I don't care who else. If we go into the same building, I don't care if you get there at 12:30 and I get there at 12:45, as long as I made it, and then my appointment is at 1, I'm good. Don't get discouraged. Don't fight with people. Don't go through with people. Just say to yourself, I'm going to be and get to my destination on time. Well, the Lord bless you tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I pray that this has helped you. Like I said, this came to me today when I was out. I was out doing something, and I started looking at, the Lord said to me years ago, and something that he's always done with me is to look at things around me. He said, I'll give you, just by looking at stuff, I'll give you revelations about stuff that's going on around you and stuff that you see. And that is something that he does with me all the time. And so when I was out in the street today and I was at the red light and I saw these cars coming and cars going that other way. And sometimes people get in a hurry in cars and they run up on the back of you and almost bump you out the way. And sometimes they get right in front of you and run into traffic and got to stop just like everyone else. And so Well, as I was driving today, the Lord says to me, think about this. And he said to me that it's sometimes we're going to the same destination, we're just coming from different locations. And so I want you to be encouraged. Don't give up. Keep pressing. Keep going. Keep holding on, because you're on your way to a better place. I pray and trust this has blessed you tonight. I pray and trust this has been good for you. If it has, I want you to do me a favor tonight. Please just tonight, if you want to give a donation tonight, you can. You see my Cash App on the screen, and you can be a blessing tonight. Those of you who want to join us on tomorrow, if you want to join me on tomorrow for our Bible study at 7 p.m., you can do it. Sister Peoples, how you doing? She said, are you going to be doing the segment on how to leave a church? I am. I was going to do it last week, but we ended up doing something. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to try my best to do it Thursday if possible, about the same time, maybe 8:30. We're going to talk about how to, I'm going to deal with 3 things on it. And that'll be, we'll deal with how to join churches or ministries. What is the way that we should think about joining, and the way, if you're leaving, how should you leave? How should you leave one? And then we'll talk about the response that I think churches should give when people leave or whatever. And it'll be interesting and be encouraging to someone. So let's do that on, I'll probably do that Thursday night. And since people, if you're not a part of, if you get my texts that lets you know when we're going to be live, if you don't, just text the word connect to 833-675-6263. If you do that, you can connect and get information. Okay, you get them. So you'll know then. So we will be doing that probably this week. We'll set that up. And there have been many people that asked me about that. So I do want to do that and share with those that would like to do that on this week and do that with ministry. All right. Well, the Lord bless you. God bless you, Elder Ransom. And to all of you that have joined me tonight, God bless you. Thank you again for joining. I look forward to doing this again shortly. And I don't remember. I'll send a text out or put it in the thing that we do. Those of you, you can go back and watch this, of course, on Facebook or YouTube. But I do have a podcast with all my Monday nights and some of my other things that you can actually download or listen to while you're in your car, whatever. And I'll send a text out and drop that link where you can do that and be a part of our podcast. Have that podcast, have a Bible podcast. And so we got a lot going on. And so you'll be able to be a part and follow us. Thank you again for all that you do. We appreciate each and every one of you. May God bless you, and may all God's choice blessings be yours. Don't forget to do this for me. All right, like, share, and do those things. Let's see. All right, I see y'all either tomorrow night, Thursday, or next Monday. May God bless you. May all God's choice bless you.